Guys, Drake just pulled the most Drake move of all time. After Kendrick told Drake that when he sees him in Sexy Red, he sees two bad females, Drake went ahead and completely dropped out of this beef, basically, and is now announcing that he's dropping a new song tonight with Sexy Red. Now, this just reminds me of when MGK started beefing Eminem, right? If you guys don't remember, Eminem dropped his diss track called Kill Shot, and after that, we have not heard MGK rap since. He stopped making rap music. He started only making punk rock. He started painting his nails. He tattooed his entire arm straight black. He was dyeing his hair pink. Like, he suffered a whole identity crisis just from Eminem's diss. And I mean, I hope that's not the case with Drake, but it looks like he's trying to distract us from the beatdown that he just took from Kendrick Lamar just a couple weeks ago by going back to the basics, going back to routine, and dropping some more music with Sexy Red. Now, it's funny to me because when Drake started this whole beef, it was a 20v1. It was him against the industry. He was ready for all the smoke. He was begging Kendrick to come drop. He was trying to keep this straight hip hop, right? And on his last diss record, he even thanked Kendrick for giving him the inspiration to pick up the pen and get back in that lyrical bag. And it seems like he's completely taking a detour right here by going back down the route of making pop music, distracting everyone from the beatdown he just took from Kendrick, and bringing the vibes away from hip hop and bringing them back to the pop music, the bubblegum rap, and just distracting the general public from that L. I think this is a pretty weak move, honestly. If anything, come back with your own solo hit. Like, Kendrick Lamar has had Not Like Us on the charts for the last 2 weeks straight at #1, getting more streams than any Drake song right now. And that's a solo track where Kendrick's just going in on Drake for 4 minutes nonstop. We need something like that from Drake right now. Drake needs to come out with an undeniable smash hit. Forget Sexy Red, forget Yeet, forget J. Cole, forget everyone else. Just focus on showing everyone why you're the GOAT, if you are the GOAT. If you just want to make Sexy Red your competition, like Kendrick was saying, then go ahead, by all means. Like, there will always be a demographic that will appreciate Drake, no matter what. He's got older audiences, younger audiences, no pun intended. He's got a big group of females that follow him that probably don't even know that this beef ever existed, right? So as much of a dent that this will leave in Drake's hip-hop legacy, if you're talking about his overall global impact, this Kendrick beef probably didn't leave that big of a chink in his armor. As you can see, he's going back to the basics, back to routine, dropping songs with Sexy Red. I can already picture that this will sound like Rich Baby Daddy Part 2. And that's fine. He wants to pull an MGK and take an L in a hip-hop battle and just eliminate himself from that hip-hop conversation. That's all good. But for as much as he was begging Kendrick to drop a record, like when he dropped Push-Ups and Taylor made Freestyle, he was begging Kendrick to drop. Begging him. Really was like thirsty for the beef. Pause. Once Kendrick dropped Not Like Us and Meet the Grams, Drake basically backed out in the Heart Part 6. Like, that was it for him. He was basically begging Kendrick to come out and engage in this battle just so he could go back to making music with Sexy Red. Like, just seems funny to me. And it adds so much more power to the bars that Kendrick gave Drake on Euphoria, where he said, "When I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. I believe you don't like women. That's real competition. You might pop ass with them." There's so many hidden meanings in these bars that I don't think people have actually received yet. Because when he's saying, "I believe you don't like women, that's real competition," if you really pay attention to how Drake's been behaving over the last few years, whether it's moving his album releases so he doesn't have to compete with Taylor Swift for the #1 spot, or throwing a bunch of subliminal disses to his ex-girlfriends like Serena Williams or Rihanna, or even up-and-coming female rappers like Ice Spice and Megan Thee Stallion, it seems like he's almost been engaging in petty back and forths with as many women as he has been with men. And Kendrick was basically criticizing him for that. Like, you have no business dissing someone like Serena Williams or Rihanna, you know? Like, they're happily married, they got kids, they're chilling, they're doing their thing. Like, it just paints Drake in a very weird light when we see him throwing subs at people like that. That's what Kendrick's saying. Like, you gossip and you sneak diss like a female usually does. And you change your album date because Taylor Swift is your competition. I'm not your competition. I'm on another level. I'm competing against actual rappers. You're competing against female pop stars, basically. So there's definitely a lot of layers to those bars. And Drake dropping a song with Sexy Red tonight just adds so much more depth to those bars in particular, and everything Kendrick said about Drake, and every single move that Kendrick basically made throughout this entire beef. But what do you guys think? By the time this video drops, this song will be out any minute from now. I'm sure it won't be a bad song in particular. I'm sure it'll be a hit, but I can't imagine that the first thing we need from Drake after taking a massive L like this is another song with Sexy Red. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a good move on Drake's part to be coming out with a song with Sexy Red? Should he be focusing on just barring Kendrick to death? Or should he be trying to make the next God's plan? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.